Thank you so much for hosting a student teacher from UW-Stout in your classroom. We are doing all of our student teacher evaluations through a program called Anthology, so this should give you a little run through of how that will all work. When a placement is created in Anthology and you are attached as a cooperating teacher, you should receive an email that looks like what you see on your screen. It has the placement information on it and then a link that says go to Anthology portfolio. As assessments become available within Anthology for your placement, you will also receive emails that there is work to assess for your student. On those emails, you will also see the go to Anthology portfolio link. Any of those unique links will take you into the system. As a cooperating teacher for UW-Stout, you do not have a username and password for Anthology. The super special secret link within that email takes you to this guest login page where all you have to do is enter your email address. Depending on the email you've used with that super special secret link, it might take you to a different section of Anthology. So I used the link in the placement email, which took me to my notification page, which tells me that there is a placement that I have been assigned to. I can click the view details to see all of the details and the assessments attached to that placement. Other email links might take you directly into the rubric, into the assessment, or it might take you directly to your dashboard. If you use the link and get to where you need to be, great, awesome. However, if you are unsure of where to go, my recommendation is always to go to menu and click experiential learning. It comes up with a search box, but all you really need to do is make sure the start date falls within when your student started, and then click search, and the placements will show up. When I click on it and click view, it will take me into that placement. The nice thing about this is when we scroll down to the assessments section, you can see all of the assessments that are attached to that placement, including the date they will become available and the date they are due. If you've already assessed something, it'll tell you when you assessed it and the score you gave it. One thing to note is there are two different kinds of assessment for midterm and then two for final. The student teaching internship assessment, which is done at the midterm and the final, is rated on a 4-point scale. The disposition review, which again is done at the midterm and the final, is rated on a 3-point scale. So if they look a little different, that's why. So once you open an assessment, a couple things just to note. In the blue bar at the top, it'll tell you the name of the assessment you're on. Just double check that you are where you need to be. Also, there are two save buttons. Save as draft, which you should use anytime that you are not 100% complete. So if you can't fill it out all in one sitting, use the save as draft button. The green save button is when you are 100% done. You may not be able to go and reassess or add or change things after you've clicked that green save button. So make sure you are 100% done. However, I do need you to click that green save button when you are done so that your scores can be officially recorded as finished. Another thing to note is how you view the rubric. So I am viewing all of the criteria on one page. If you'd rather see a single criterion, you can do that and then just switch back and forth. A couple other things, if you click the blue eye next to the learning target description, you'll see a full description of what that criteria means. If you hover over a black box, it will come up with the rating description for that rating. So you can see that there are numbers at the top, but if you would like to see what that actual number means, you can just hover over it and it will come up with a description. You'll notice a comment box near each criteria. We encourage you to leave feedback and opportunities for growth for your student teacher and have a discussion about those as needed. At the bottom, there's also an overall comments box if you have general comments for your student teacher. So all you need to do on the rubric to score something is click the black box and turn it green. That will indicate that you are scoring it at that level, and then add your comment. Again, we encourage those. And then if you are going to come back to this later, save as draft. When you are completely 100% done and will not be changing it at all, click the green save button and it will be officially recorded. Like I mentioned, there are two rubrics for midterm and two rubrics for final, so make sure you are filling out both of those. Again, this is a really nice time to go back to that experiential learning section because I can see that while I did the midterm eval, I did not do the midterm disposition. So I could go in and assess that right now. Your student also has access to this. When you score something, they will be able to see it in their Anthology account. But if you would like to go over it together, you can always click on a finished rubric and click View Summary, and it will bring up your scores and comments, and you can have a discussion face to face. My goal is to make this as pain-free as possible, so if you have any questions at all, any concerns, any like, I'm not quite sure how to do this, please reach out. My expertise is at your disposal. And again, thank you so much for hosting one of our UW-Stout teacher candidates.